Hello, everybody. This is Coach Fred, and this is another presentation of the Habits of Health Lifestyle Hutchinson, because that is my passion, because I've been a health coach for 7 years, and it's made a big difference in my health and the health of many friends and family. That's my passion. So, we're all about extending the family tree, starting with your own. Now, unfortunately, too many Americans are making the left-hand turn up here towards highly processed foods and fast foods, and unfortunately, that ambulance is lurking behind that stack of food. Our idea is by using habits of health, making better choices, make the right-hand turn up here, kick that ambulance on down the road a ways. Today, I want to talk a little bit about cholesterol. So we'll call this one Cholesterol 101. Going to explain a little bit about it. Now this is unfortunately what the food industry is doing for us. They're advertising foods that aren't good for us. And my question here is elevated blood pressure and cholesterol a disease? So if you think it's a disease, put down in the comments below, disease. If you think it's not a disease, then put it's not. Okay. Now I'm going to answer that question for you. It's really not. What it is, it's a symptom of some other things going in your body that's wrong or out of balance. Now the cholesterol myth, how it got started was Congress decided that they wanted to look at cardiovascular disease and find out what's going on. So they started the Framingham Heart Study in 1948. The purpose was to determine if cardio health was influenced by environment, by lifestyle, by inheritance, your family, or one of those, or all of those, or part of those. That's what they wanted to find out. Now, this is what they come up with. Now, they studied 22 countries, and what they found was Japan has a low heart attack rate, and also the diet has a low fat consumption. There's heart attacks on the left over there and fat consumption across the bottom. Italy, which consumed a little more fat, had a little bit more heart attacks. Canada, which had a little bit higher heart attack rate and also a higher fat consumption. And then the good old US of A, which had a very high heart attack rate and also a high fat consumption. So what they've determined from this, it just makes sense that the more fat consumed, the more heart attacks you're going to have. They decided that saturated fat, which is your meats, your dairy, your cheeses, things like this, things that they've been telling us not to eat for 60 years, high saturated fat in your diet, it increases your cholesterol, and then increased cholesterol increases heart disease. Okay, well, all makes sense so far. But what they didn't tell you was some of the states or some of the countries that didn't fit into that little curve, they kind of ignored those. Like Norway and Holland, they have very high fat consumption, yet they're low in heart attacks. Chile is another one that they're high in heart attacks, but not that high in fat consumption in their diet. So they just ignored those. Now it's kind of strange that they decided that cholesterol was bad, and from the studies, when you just get part of the information, that's what you would think. Cholesterol is bad. let's first of all, let's answer these questions. What is cholesterol? And cholesterol is a chemical compound. It's very important to the body. It creates bile, which bile is what breaks down greases and fats in your blood. Cholesterol is 20% of your brain. It's a part of every cell membrane you have in your body. It helps create hormones, estrogens, sex hormones, testosterone, for name a few. You have to have cholesterol to survive. So I guess cholesterol is pretty important. Where does it come from? Well, your body produces 75% of your cholesterol that your body needs. The rest comes from food. And these are meats, poultry, eggs, fish, dairy, and some of those are some of the food that they've been telling you to avoid for the last 50, 60 years. Now, is HDL and LDL cholesterol? Because they're always tied together. And the answer to that is no. You know that fat and oil and water did not mix. So, this is the body's way of being able to deliver cholesterol around your body. This is how it works. HDL is your high density lipoproteins. What it is, it's a little packet that's surrounded by proteins, and it takes the cholesterol inside and it delivers, the HDL delivers cholesterol to your liver to be processed. The LDL, low density lipoproteins, delivers cholesterol to the cells from the liver to the cells to be stored. So just think of it as little packets that deliver the cholesterol around. That's what HDL and LDL is. Now, you've always worried about cholesterol numbers. Your cholesterol should be less than 200. Now, not too long ago, it used to be 230, and then they moved it to 200 and immediately put about 8 million more people on cholesterol drugs. Now, the cholesterol industry is over $250 billion a year, and this was created by a false study back in the late 40s, early 50s. You see where we're going with this? A lot of money spent on things that might not necessarily need to be spent on. LDL, you want your LDL to be less than 100. It used to be 130. They moved it down to 100, and again, increased the number of people who need to be putting on cholesterol setting drugs. And then your HDL, you want it to be 60 or better. Now, just to show you what the doctors are doing, they love to prescribe medicine. My wife's HDL was 56, and they wanted to put her on drugs for that. But there's all kinds of side effects to those drugs, and we're health coaches. We're going to change some of the things that she eats and see if that makes a difference next time. So I'll be reporting on that. So cholesterol, good for you or bad for you? Well, I guess if it's important for your body to have it, you know, if you wouldn't live if you didn't have it. So I guess it's pretty important. Now the sources comes from 75% liver, as I mentioned, and 25% from the food. If the food goes down, the amount that you get from food goes down, then the amount of cholesterol from your liver goes up. So it always has to be in balance. And then it goes into your arteries. Your normal artery is very, very slick. But when you have high inflammation in your body, and I'll explain a little bit in a second where that comes from, when you have, then you start having artery damage, and then you start having buildup cholesterol. Cholesterol goes to the place that it's damaged, and to help it heal. But then you also start getting fat and calcium build up along with that cholesterol. This is what they call hardening of the arteries, and this is what causes strokes and heart attacks and that type of thing. So how do you improve your cholesterol numbers? Well, on the HDL, which you want to be 60 or above, you can do that by eating egg yolk, butter, and cheese. Some of the things that they, told us not to be eating not too long ago. My wife and I, we make our own butter. The LDL, the way you get those numbers better, that's down to 100 or less, is by eliminating sugars and carbs. Why do we have a heart attack problem? It's really quite simple. Inflammation. Inflammation is what causes, my doctor used to tell me that inflammation caramelizes your cells. It ages your cells. Sugar and carbs is what causes inflammation. Sugar and carbs both act on your body in the same way in raising your blood sugar levels. You can check it out on one of my other videos on I talk about, is sugar addiction a real deal? I talk about it in there, so check out that video. Sugar and carbs. Now this carbs includes processed foods, potatoes, rice, pasta, breads, those things, the white things. So what causes inflammation? Simple. Sugar and carbs cause higher insulin levels. Higher insulin levels cause inflammation. High inflammation levels causes artery and other cell damage. Pretty simple. So you have a choice to make. You can decide to go down that left-hand road over there in that ambulance, or we can kick that ambulance further on down the road so you can do the happy dance and be with your family longer, extend your family tree. By getting down to a healthy weight, they say that you can have 10 to 15 years longer life expectancy. So the choice is yours. The choice is yours. Invest time in the one thing you're certain to have for your whole life, and that's your body. And remember that good habits are just as addictive as bad habits, but much more rewarding. Now, if you have any questions, just get in touch with me. Put in the comments down below. And if you like this video, and share it. If you know somebody that's having cholesterol issues or health issues, let them have this video. And if you like it, subscribe to it. And I really want you to do that because I don't want my wife being the only one that is subscribed to my channel. A little bit of humor there. Okay. If you have any questions, put in the comments down below and get in touch with me. If you're interested in starting your own journey to health, let me know. I'd be happy to work with you. So until the next time, well, hasta la vista until the next time. Okay, we'll catch you later. Thank you now.